Clark. That's nice. Venom have numbers down the floor. Shelley running the lanes. Venom getting Holmes involved. Plenty here. Takes contact. Line Sharp open for three. Now Geelong are connecting.
Wow.
First quarter. Great work there from Rotuno. Keeps the play alive.
It's a Sunday doubleheader in the WNBL, starting in Geelong as the Venom look to re-enter the winners column after an uncharacteristic performance last outing against Bendigo. For the Venom, Geelong co-captain Alex Sharp plays her 100th WNBL game as the UC Capitals come to town full strength for just the second time this season. With Satina Rakuso and Katie Sissoko back in the lineup this afternoon, it is going to be a tight tussle. Canberra should come in fresh off an 8-day break, whilst the Venom will be back up after playing in Ballarat on Friday night. Welcome to Geelong Arena, the Strikehouse, as the players and the Reptiles arriving courtside. Checking in thanks to Minor Hotels. Liam Ellison here in commentary. Alongside me is Opal's Olympic bronze medalist Rachel Jarry and WNBL championship skipper Beck Cole. Welcome to you both.
Thanks, Liam. Very much looking forward to this one. It's the first matchup between these teams this season, and we know they're both coming off disappointing losses, but with the way the season's shaping out, every win is super important and no one's out of the finals race yet.
Exactly. Like Rach said, it's so close. If Geelong win this game, they can go into 4th position. And like you said, Liam, Canberra have now had a big break. They would have worked on some things in that 8-day period. And I cannot wait to see what we have in store because it's going to be a close game.
It is a milestone afternoon for the co-captain Alex Sharp, 100 games. And here she was a little earlier with Kelsey Brown.
I'm here with the woman of the moment, Alex Sharp. I know you're going to be humble today, but it's a massive milestone, 100 games in the WNBL. How have you reflected on your journey?
There hasn't been much time for reflection yet. Hopefully after today I can sit back a little bit and kind of appreciate the moment. But it's crazy. Sometimes I feel like I've played 20, other times I feel like I've played 500. So I think today I just want to have fun with the girls and try to get the win.
Is there a game or a moment in the last 6 years that you've got ahead of you that you're sort of looking at as a moment that you really appreciate in your journey?
Look, I look at the cap season as one like I really enjoyed. We weren't successful, but it was a lot of fun. And then with Lynx, we had a couple of final series that we got so close to winning. And I think it just shows you how hard it is to win a championship in the WNBL. So I think looking ahead, it's definitely a goal of mine at some point to win a championship.
Well, you're here today with the Venom, and we know that you guys really want to get this win. It's a really important one. All the best for the game today.
Oh, thank you, appreciate it.
Alex Sharp spent time with the UC Caps. The Perth Lynx had a stint in Spain and now returning this season for the Geelong Venom to notch up this milestone, Rachel.
Yeah, absolutely. She is, she's turned into such a superb player. I remember her as a DP back in the early Melbourne Boomers days when she was just a 15-year-old. So to be able to watch her career grow and turn into the leader she is, it's just, hats off to her. She's done so great in her career.
The Caps, they are full strength this afternoon, and Sarah Blitzarves is back on Victorian soil to take it right up to the Geelong Venom. Here she was with Kels.
Sarah, first time matching up against Geelong here today. How do you see the matchup coming into this one?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. They've obviously come off a loss as well, and they want redemption, I think, for that. And we're the same, and we're still finding things out about each other, and it's cool. It's the first time we've played them. So yeah, it's going to be a good matchup.
Only one out of the last 5 games, but you've got all of the pieces there. It seems like it's gelling at certain times. What's the difference between you then taking to the next level and coming out with those wins?
I think it's just getting game reps with our full team. This will be our first week with everyone here together, which is just crazy. And then it's just about clicking on court and finding our rhythm, and I think we'll start doing that. We had a really, really good training week, and you know what? We've got absolutely nothing to lose anymore, do we? So may as well go out there and just play and have fun.
We absolutely love it. Throw caution to the wind. Thank you so much for your time today. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Well, they are sitting in 8th position at the moment, the UC Capitals, but the way the ladder shapes up, everyone's still in the running for 4th spot. Beck, plenty to play for.
There sure is, and you see in that interview, Sarah is just filled with positivity. That is what I really enjoy about her game. She's an incredible teammate, and she's back in Geelong, which is where she resides in the off-season, so she'll be raring to go in front of family and friends today.
Knows these rims well, no doubt. Let's welcome in the 4th member of our team here this afternoon, Kelsey Brown, courtside throughout. Welcome.
Great to be here, guys. Looking forward to being in and amongst it in the Strike House. We know the Geelong Venom fans love to turn out for their team. And as you said, Rachel, a very important game for both teams today. But the thing that excites me the most about this matchup is the matchups we'll see on the court. At times, we'll see Opal, Shyla Hill and Jade Melbourne match up against each other. And Zatina Akuso and Mackenzie Holmes, who's in MVP form, we'll see that match up there today. So I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
Thanks, Kels. He's a full-strength UC Capitals side, but a few changes to their starting five. And Rachel, this is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. We see the Caps are starting with Jade Melbourne and Nadia Poch on the bench. So they bring in Isa Brancatisano and Jada Clark. So we haven't really been able to get a full explanation as to what's going on. There's been word of potentially some illness through the Caps camp this week, but we're not too sure. Hopefully we do see those two get out on the floor. But it's an interesting move, but definitely a change from the Caps.
It is intriguing. Jada Clark, though, Beck, has been in some great form for the Capitals.
She really has. I've been impressed with her energy every time she's stepped onto the floor. She's providing that energy on the defensive end, and then on the offensive end, she's just been filled with confidence. She's not backing down, and she's never second-guessing herself, and it's so great to see that from the young gun.
We know the Capitals do bring such length across their starting five, and as a result, Geelong have changed it up with Mackenzie Clinch-Hoycard coming into the lineup.
Yeah, I think that is a good move from the Venom. They do need a little bit more height in that guard spot just to combat the likes of Sarah Blitzarves. But yeah, it'll be interesting now how they match up and this first couple of plays. And I think we'll see really, a focus on defense from both teams.
Kuso and Holmes, one of the key matchups to contest the tip, and we are away at the Strike House with the Venom first possession. Here's Shyla Hill. WNBL doubleheader. Great to have your company as round 8 continues. Here's Holmes with a handoff to Shelley. Immediately, Brancatisano with the assignment, falling away at the baseline. Great start for Geelong.
And that'll be great for Jazz Shelley. She only had 9 shot attempts in their loss against Bendigo, so I would like to see her get more reps up and be confident with her shot.
Clark initiating offense. Akuso left it up early. Shelley can explode into the open floor. Caught the whistle and free throws to come up for the Venom.
And again, I like the mindset of Jazz there. Running the lanes hard. They had great help defense, hedging in on Zatina Akuso as soon as she dribbled the ball and going coast to coast. We know Geelong are so great in offensive transition.
3-7, the Geelong Venom. They have been in almost every game this season, though. It was Friday night was uncharacteristic, Rachel, falling to Bendigo by 35. They've so often been losing by single numbers when they have fallen.
Yeah, we saw those two sort of heartbreaking overtime losses, and then, like you said, Friday was uncharacteristic of what we've seen from them. So, they're going to dig in every game. I expect them to bounce back big today and see a better effort than we saw on Friday.
Clark with the Kuso at the elbow. Trying to thread the needle. Another turnover favouring the Venom. Move forward via heel, inside with Holmes. 2 up and in for Mackenzie Holmes, her first 2.
Great pass by Shyla Hill, but you need to stop Holmes early.
Blitzarves can't get the roll. Yet to score below 20 points this season, Mackenzie Holmes, being so consistent. Just lost it on the baseline that time.
She is absolutely incredible, and she does it so efficiently. She shoots at 57% from the field. So, to be doing that, she doesn't need a heap of the ball. She just needs to get her shots when they come to her, and she'll finish with the accuracy that we've seen this season.
24 and 10 per contest for Holmes. Geelong regain possession. Great look from the corner from Brancatisano. Capitals still searching for their first field goal. Who just joined us, Jade Melbourne and Nadia Poch coming off the bench today for the Capitals. Shelley attacking on Akuso, great vision. Hoycard. Got a fresh 14 here. Shelley draws the double. Deep in the Capitals this time. It's a deep 3-point attempt. Long rebound, though, favours Holmes.
You see Caps need to box out. That's 2 offensive rebounds in this one possession.
Really around the pick. Trying to find some meaningful movement. Holmes needs to go. The O-Glass, though, is sharp, and the Capitals did so much right defensively until that rebounding contest.
You just can't give up that many offensive rebounds against any team. They're going to make you pay, and yeah, it's heartbreaking to play. They played such good defense a few times in a row there, and then just to give that up, it really does, you know, it just sucks the life out of your defense and your team.
First points in a milestone afternoon for Alex Sharp.
And Rach, you spoke about earlier Sharpie being a DP. It was amazing to see where she's come from at the AIS. She came as a Diamond Valley Eagle player, and now she's a WNBL superstar.
And she has scanned the QR code on screen for tickets, fixture and more info right now at WNBL.com.au as Blitzarves connects from 3.
And that is what Blitzarves is good at doing. 3-point shots in transition. I'd like to see them get her the ball now whilst she's felt one.
Here lost a defender with a dribble.
On skates, Rachel Curry.
Ankle breaker.
That'll be in the highlights.
Absolutely. 10-3 start, courtesy of that Charlotte heel move. Down low is Sissoko. Going to work on Sharp. Let's get down to Kelsey Brown, courtside.
Well, the crowd absolutely love that ankle breaker from Charlotte Hill. I can't wait to hear them get more involved. But it's the 3-point line I want to talk about for the Geelong Venom. We've seen those two go up from Clinch Hoyka, but they've really struggled in their last outing. 12% from the 3-point line against Bendigo, 3 from 25. So something that they'll want to clean up today.
Thanks, Kelsey. Jade Melbourne inserted here, 3 minutes in. Holmes inside. 7 leads the shot clock. Charlotte Hill averaging 16 per game over her first 2 outings, was held a little more quietly in that tough outing against the Spirit. This is Sissoko down the floor. Melbourne will run the offense. Combining with Akuso. It's been a rare sight so far this season due to injury.
And I'd love to see the UC Caps as we see Jade Melbourne making a very strong play to the basket. It'll be good to see her go to the foul line, see a couple shots drop in. But they have such a big mismatch in today's game. I'd like to see some plays for Zatina, Sissoko inside, get them the ball deep in the paint, or even Sarah Blitzarves coming off stagger screens where she can curl, get 2 feet in the paint because she's shooting the ball over a much smaller guard.
Melbourne good on the first, averaging the 11 points per game this season. Pressure applied in the front court. Sharp whipped out. Brain Cardazano nearly got there. He lost her own footing this time. Space for Shelley to go to work. Blitzarves in front of her. Battles out. Inside with a seal, Blitzarves. There's 2 defenders out of trouble. Back action at the moment. Crucial game for both sides. The Venom can win and go into the 4 this afternoon, pending the Southside Melbourne result this evening. Melbourne on the breakaway. Great take.
That's what the Caps can do so well. If they can get defensive stops, they're a great transition team, and we see Jade Melbourne do that right there. But Sissoko, again, a sneaky little move just to get her defender out of the way.
Melbourne's come out with that trademark intensity. Troy card not quite. To a 1-possession ball game. Now that look in her eye. Melbourne kicked it back to Sissoko. Back in the lineup today after missing the last outing against Perth. She has a chance at the charity strike.
And like you said, Beck, they are so great in transition, as we see here, the full court transition from Jade Melbourne. But that, like you said, the key is getting defensive stops. All season, they haven't been able to do that consistently. They haven't been able to get those defensive rebounds and finish plays so that they can run. But we've seen, you know, the last couple of minutes, they've been able to do that, and they look like a much better team.
I think we need to give a little shout out to Jazz Shelley, who just got an epic block there. And I know as a guard, when you get a block, I'm not going to lie, you feel pretty big for the first time out there on the court. So unfortunately, they didn't get the ball, but Jazz Shelley, nice block.
Sissoko converts. Halfway through this first quarter. Turno, early entrant, coming off the bench today. Looking for that bigger lineup with Clinch Hoykart. It's arms over the timeline. Hodge in the spin cycle, up into the body of Shelley and stripped clean. Running the floor with Sharp, confident stroke. Unable to extend the lead.
And Jazz Shelley's hands are just so good. She's first in the league for steals with just under 3 a game. And I think her defense needs to be spoken about more so far this season, because her one-on-one defense has really been great, but she's getting those hands in, then going down in offensive transition. It's been really impressive so far this season.
Steal and a block already in this one for Shelley. 14 for Melbourne. Sissoko left unattended, and again Shelley with a hand in.
The enforcer.
Foot violation. Off Nadia Potch. The enforcer indeed.
That's Jazz's house, isn't it?
Right? This is her strike house. And just great timing as well.
Over the top, over the much taller Sissoko. Impressive from the Geelong playmaker. Tuno provided the pick from Holmes. Shelley can attack Melbourne. Found the body and found the whistle. Back to this spot where Geelong are 4 of 4 already this afternoon. Back at the Strikehouse this afternoon after a 3-game stretch on the road for the Venom. Let's get Kelsey Brown's thoughts courtside.
Nicole Munga checks in for the UC Capitals, and just a shout out to her. She had her first start for the Caps last outing, walked away with the player of the game. And when I spoke to Paul Goris before, he said, we know what we're going to get from her. She's a role player, and as much as they have a star-studded lineup, it's these players that need to come in and give the effort and the energy like Nicole Munga.
Thanks, Kels. 2-point ball game.
And Kelsey said it exactly right. She's such a steady and calm player. She's so versatile, and she plays her role to a T. And Sarah Blitzarves with another 3-point shot. Canberra look to go to some 3-ball plays for Sarah off some off-ball screen actions.
First lead for the Capitals off the back of it. There's a Brett. Beautiful ball movement from the Venom. Finds Shelley open, nearly banked it home. And a whistle on the rebounding contest this time. On that Amy replay, Blitzarves getting a great look, and that is dangerous.
It's her home away from home, so she's feeling good, Liam.
It certainly is. Rotuno feeding Holmes, draws 2 defenders. Reset via Rakuso. Great to see her back out there and fit after has been an interrupted start to her campaign. Returning against the Sydney Flames a couple of weeks ago and annexed only the 4 minutes, Rachel.
Yeah, it was I mean, we've said it a few times, it was pretty good 4 minutes, but no, it is good to see her back, you know, hopefully, you know, building her minutes as we go. But, you know, to start this game, she's really bothered Mackenzie Holmes inside, and a different sort of body type than Mackenzie would be used to playing against, and much stronger and more physical.
Right at the forefront of that MVP conversation, Mackenzie Holmes. Well, she's got Sissoko defensively and had the seal.
finding their way to the charity stripe en masse. Coming across with the help defense.
Second personal foul. 15 foul. Mackenzie Holmes.
Leading scorer in Indiana in the NCAA with over 2,500 points in her career. Starred at the college level. Taken by the Seattle Storm in 2024. Loving life down the highway in Geelong.
We see Geelong Venom up in a press, full court, really making Canberra rush into their offense, and I love the energy that they've come out with after that devastating loss against the Spirit.
Itzars nearly lost her footing. Stays Capitals basketball.
That was the play you called for, Beck, getting Sarah on the inside, trying to get those mismatches with the smaller guards. Just couldn't quite get the finish of that one.
Via Munga. Watch on the block. Shelley again defensively, combining with Holmes.
And again, Rach, another good look. Nadia Poch also has those mismatches. So it's great to see her still inside. She just needs to finish those easy ones off.
2 feet in the keyway once more. Extra fine. Brett is a sharpshooter for the Venom. Skying up that time, Ratuno.
She had some hops on that one, but Beck, like you said, as we see the replay of that, she got up there for that rebound. You know, the thing with Canberra is they've been shooting at such a poor percentage all year. So at some point we need to go that these layups and shots that they're getting, they really do need to finish them, and it's not just, you know, a little bit of a mistake, but because it is sort of costing them momentum and runs as we go on through the season.
And right now, Rach, they're 11%, 1 from 9 from 2-point territory.
Yeah.
And Sarah's keeping them in the game, shooting, making those 2 3-point shots for them. So you're absolutely right. The shooting percentage definitely needs to increase just for them to stay in these games and get those wins.
To get it done from distance again there. 2 of 5 from 3, the Capitals. Real running point, draws 2 defenders. Blitzarv cuts it off. They've got numbers down the floor. Whip back from Clark. Great transition basketball.
I love that they use their length to try to get that steal. They've got much taller, much bigger wingspan. They can use that to try and get those traps, get the steals and get out and run.
Finds Heel. 5 on the shot clock. Under in front, Heel's got to go. Oh, that is flipped up and in somehow. Shyla Heel, no eyes to the basket, gets it to go.
That is a tough finish from Shyla Hill. And that was good defense by Munga, just better offense by Hill on that occasion.
Under a minute remains in the first quarter. Hill with a head of steam. He draws the foul on Clark this time. Second personal on Jada Clark. This is tough finish from Shyla Heel. Outstretched arm does not matter.
She's so tough to guard because she's so good at going both directions. She can finish off both hands, both feet, and she can do that sort of awkward same foot, same hand. So, and she's been doing that since she was 14, probably younger, years old, and practicing those. So it makes her really tough to guard when she's got all those attributes on both sides of her body.
Opens up a 4-point buffer for the Venom. Inside with a Kuso. Shooters open if they can find him. Sissoko, though, straight down the boulevard. Smokes the lay-in. Shot clock 6 seconds ahead of the game clock.
Troikard gets assistance from Heel. Potch right there, trying to deny it. Great shot clock once more. Brett, that's a good look from 3. 3 seconds for the Caps. Down the floor, Clark. And able to get there as the horn expires. Cuts it to a 1-possession ball game at quarter time. 18-16, favouring the Venom here in a crucial game for both these sides, chasing down 4th spot on the table. Two-point ball game at quarter time here at Geelong Arena. The Venom and the UC Capitals kick off our WNBL Sunday doubleheader here in round 8. Liam Ellison, Rachel Jurry and Beck Cole with you in commentary. Second quarter, moments away here as the Venom opened up an 8-point lead at one stage before the Capitals were able to pull it back. We have seen a different lineup, albeit today. Just limited minutes so far for Jade Melbourne. Jada Clark has stepped up. Here's Potch. Able to connect that time. Kelsey Brown was listening into the UC Capitals huddle. Kels.
I was. It was all Sarah Blitzards to begin with. She spoke about the bunnies they're missing under the ring, and she said we just need to take a breath and have a little bit more composure on the finish. And then Paul Goris spoke about those offensive rebounds that you talked about, Beck Cole. He said not good enough. They're getting too many second options, too many second shots, and we need to look a little bit more to Zatina inside.
Thanks, Kelsey. 3 of 12 from 2. The Capitals look to correct that. Top of the painted area. Clark won't go. Just the 1 2-point attempt so far in the first quarter for Mackenzie Holmes. And on cue, it's cut off from Nicole Munger. No doubt the Venom will be looking to get her more involved here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, they've got to work as a team. Like I said before, Zatina is sort of bothering her size and things like that. So they've got to find different ways to perhaps get her the ball, get her shots, maybe try and get her off the bounce, going at Zatina on the drive and that kind of thing, just to get her involved so they can get the scoreboard ticking over.
And Holmes is really good in that mid-range elbow jump shot. So right now, the Capitals are either icing, so forcing the guards away from the screen, or they're hard hedging. So if there can be another release pass that the guard with the ball can kick to another guard and then find Mackenzie in that sweet spot in mid-range, that's where she can also get going.
Shelley probing. Sissoko in front. First hands to the rebound, they control it. running point. Russo. Can fire again from 3, finds back heel.
I'd like to see a little bit more ball movement from the Caps. We know that Poch can hit those threes, but she hasn't been shooting at a great percentage. So I think if they get the ball moving and then you get an inside-outside, it becomes a far better shot from the three-point line.
Rach, do you also think, Kelsey mentioned that Paul Gore said at halftime, we want to look at Zatina more. Could the Caps look at a more of a high-low situation between Akuzo and Sissoko? Because Sissoko can shoot the mid-range, can rip drive, but that high-low action, could that be an asset for them right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think, as we see a great shot there. You know, if they need to get them involved in on-balls and then into high-low and just to continue to move at the moment, the Caps are really stagnant, and we know that they've missed a few easy shots, but they just need to relieve the pressure somehow and try and get those inside shots. That's what they're great at. As we see the Amy replay there, Shyla Hill, she can get to the bucket, she can do that. Half your life, pretty good.
Up to 8 points now. Shyla Hill really is just the first time we've seen Zatina Akuso and Katie Sissoko together this season. They appeared for, as we mentioned, the 4 minutes before Akuso picked up that knock, so they need to flesh out there in terms of how they combine. Melbourne with the inbounds. Strong screen provided from Akuso, and Melbourne involved.
And even though Melbourne didn't start the game, her few minutes that she's had great energy, great spark, very aggressive. And for me, Rach, she's the head of the snake for the Capitals in order for their success.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything she brings, sort of in terms of basketball and her leadership and her energy and that kind of thing, it really determines, and it's sort of the barometer for how the Caps will go. So those 2 shots are a good sign for what's to come, hopefully.
8 points in 5 minutes for Jade Melbourne, who has brought a bunch of energy. Time out here. It's a 2-point ball game. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. Has been some illness throughout the UC Capitals squad throughout the week. Yet to see that in Jade Melbourne's game. She has brought some energy. Ashley Arlen as well moments ago, connecting from the mid-range. Injury replacement player from Iowa getting an opportunity with Alyssa Pilley still out of the lineup with that ankle injury. Great to see her with a WNBL dom.
Yeah, it's good that they can get someone in just for that more depth. They've obviously, you know, had come into this season with a game plan that would involve Alyssa Pilley, but it just hasn't played out that way so far, and hopefully she's not too far away. But just to bring in another body, someone who's got experience playing at, you know, a women's level and can come in and do a job, it's so important.
Recently with the Brisbane Capitals in the NBL 1 North season, Ashley Arlen. And there's the Australian game. Two-point ball game out of the timeout. Venom and the Capitals. Arlen returns to the floor for Geelong, their injury replacement player in place of Alyssa Pilley. Here's heel running point. Shelley working hard off ball. What a first quarter for Jazz Shelley. 3 blocks and a steal through the first 10 minutes. Strong on the teardrop for heel. Melbourne with a head of steam. Getting assistance from teammates. Kelsey, what did you catch from the Geelong huddle?
Well, it was all about the discipline on the defensive end. Chris Lucas hasn't been happy with the switches and where they're ending up and which players. He went straight to Alex Sharp and said, why are you on Jade Melbourne? But on the offensive end, he turned straight to Shyla Hill and he said, let's look to get you off some screens. You need to look to score first, then look to distribute. So expect Shyla Hill to have a little bit more say in this second term.
Thanks, Kelsey. She's been aggressive, Charlotte. 3 of 5 from the field. This is Melbourne leading the way in the scoring column now with 9.
And Melbourne, although they've been losing and she hasn't maybe been in, you know, the amazing, absolute best form that we all know she can provide, she's still been super great. For me, I call her a stat stuffer because she's still averaging 10 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. She's doing it everywhere on the floor, and you can't ask for much more than that. So it'll be interesting to see how many minutes she plays today, but she's a vital piece for the Canberra Caps.
No doubt. That's a fantastic find to Hill. Into double figures.
That was a great backdoor cut by Shyla Hill. She just read where the Caps were jumping up. They were jumping up high to stop her getting the ball, and she just had that open lane straight to the bucket.
Back with Melbourne. To Blitzarves, carving through the keyway.
A nice action, Rach. You were talking about you wanted more ball movement. They weren't stagnant then. Everyone was moving and working hard for each other, and that's what led to a great drive by Sarah.
And then what I'd like to see next from the Caps is to go back to the things that are working. That's probably something I've been a little bit critical of them this season, as we see that great drive from Sarah. You know, they sometimes go away from what's worked, and I'd like to see them keep going to it, make teams defend that action until you move on to the next thing.
Hill and Melbourne. That's a deep three-point attempt for Clint Hoykart. I know she can make those. Have another look via Holmes. Pretty well held so far from Akuso and the Caps. Another look to go there in the post. Holmes gets the step through.
Oh. We had a good old classic dunny roll, but Holmes knew that was going down. She was already running back on defense, but good to see her get going. She's first in the league for points, averaging just over 24 points a game, and not yet this season has she been kept under 20 points, but it's been great. A key matchup, like Kelsey Brown said earlier, of Akuso versus Holmes, and Rach, you've been correct, just her sheer size and power has bothered Holmes.
Cut off from Blitzarves. Brain Catazano running the floor. Transition points for the Caps.
The Coffee Club members, Liam, sorry to cut you off. That little 1-2.
This one needed some convincing.
Hey!
Down it goes. I wonder how the coffee adventures are going in Canberra, Rachel.
Well, I know they're still waiting for Anthony Albanese to join them for a coffee, and hopefully, well, we know that he will be watching, so Albo, get down for coffee with Sarah and Izza. But no, I do enjoy watching that.
I sure do, and I think Sarah will be like, I just gave you an assist, Izza, so I expect a free large cappuccino.
Well, if you are still looking for Christmas presents, a few weeks away, make sure you get on board, scan the QR code and head to the WNBL shop for the full range and to rep the W in WNBL26. A lot of energy about the Caps these last few minutes. They cut it back to a one-point ball game. Chris Lucas using both of his timeouts here in the first half. 4:30 remaining in the seconds. 10 points for Shyla here, leads the way for Geelong, and 10 for Blitzarves, including a pair of triples. Hill initiating offense. Sharp slipping the screen, and an offensive foul against Geelong. Well, Kelsey Brown is listening into the Capitals huddle. Kels.
I was, same message from Paul Goris. It's all about the box out, really upset with those offensive boards on the other side of the court. And then he turned around to everyone and he said, let's look at keeping up this pace. He's happy with how they're playing at the moment. It's fast. But I just want to give a little shout out to Jade Melbourne. Gemma Potter is here for her first game watching since she did that ACL, and it was a really beautiful moment between Jade Melbourne and Gemma Potter prior to the game. Beautiful to see the friendship sort of play out and the support that Jade Melbourne had for her.
Former teammates, they came up through the junior systems together. That is nice to see.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, in the WNBL, often you know, when you get to sort of midway towards the end of your career, you've almost pretty much played with everyone in the league, or you've got some sort of relationship. So those two are obviously very close and have played together a lot, but just to see that and the support that they'd have for each other, it is beautiful and, you know, a special part of our game, I think.
It's been hot in the first half. Moving screen on Sissoko. Team foul number 4 in the quarter.
I know they were trying to execute a play there, but Sarah was actually wide open for a 3-point shot, and we know she's money when she's just dribbling into that 1-2 step. So I'd like her to be a bit more selfish on that occasion, because she is shooting the ball very well.
Watch set to check in just a moment, because Sissoko has 3 now. It's a blow for the Caps. Shelley online.
And that is exactly what Shyla brings. They've missed her so much not playing in the early part of this season. The Caps were so worried about Shyla coming off that on-ball that just Shelley, of all people, was left wide open on the 3-point line.
Certainly not a play you want to do that.
And Kelsey spoke before the game that Geelong, their 3-point percentage hasn't been as well as that they'd like, as we see Sissoko with a nice move to the basket and heading to the foul line. But like you said, Rach, she just draws 2 people, and then we get to see Shelley knock down that 3. And if they can knock down a few more 3s, it makes them so much harder to defend, because now you're forcing the defense to close out. Now you can get 2 feet in the paint, look for your score or dish the ball. So hopefully this can get Shelley going from outside.
A bit of everything so far. Jazz Shelley, 8 points, 3 blocks. And the Caps can sub-shoot her as Sissoko splits a pair. No Hungry Jacks today, just yet, for the Venom fans. 3:03 remaining in the first half. 1 possession ball game. Shelley and Heel combine once more. Running around that pick, skipped out to Brett. Now Heel for 3. Melbourne. Sensing the situation. Russo creating some space. And left completely unattended on the O-glass.
Yeah, that's, you know, they sort of got that switch there. So that shot from Jade Melbourne is almost like an assist, because the Tina's always going to be able to get that rebound with only Shyla Heel around her.
Holmes denied the handoff from Melbourne. Tried with the back cut. Caps basketball.
And if you're shooting the correct shot in the offense, then that means as well that you have rebounders in the right positions to be able to go and get that board, like you said, Rach, with Zatina. So I've been more impressed with the offense and how Capitals have been moving the ball in this second quarter.
Russo hangs, finds a way to the stripe.
Caps will go to the line. Fouls for number 54. Second person. She takes a break in the game.
First full game last outing against the Perth Lynx for Zatina Akuso. Played 25 minutes, 10 points, 5 boards and 3 dimes to go with 2 blocks in that one. A big pre-season addition for the Capitals. They will be thrilled to have her out there and healthy.
She's such a great leader of this team. We've heard the Caps players often say that she's the loudest talker, she's the best communicator. So when you're missing someone like that from your team, it is a huge hole. So you can see that lift that she gives them, you know, spiritually as that communicator when she steps onto the floor.
Absolutely, is a huge cultural piece. She'll take a break. Tuno reinserted. Shelley. Well, entirely defended from Brain Caldezano, asking a lot of Sharp.
And Capitals with a few good defensive possessions. They've forced Venom now into 8 turnovers this half. These are the stops they can get. Rach said it earlier about their length. They're so good. Use that to their advantage.
And the Venom are the best at looking after the ball. They only average just over 12 turnovers a game. So this is already way over their usual turnover rate at this point.
Defensive second quarter. Forcing the turnover on Melbourne that time. She'll take a break for Nicole Munger.
Nicole Munger. Jade Melbourne takes a break with 9 points against Venom.
Looked a little exasperated there, but she started really well, Jade Melbourne. Tage Morrell, first minutes. It's ours. Poch, open once more. Well on the keyway. Playing Catazano, who got the start this afternoon. Has more free throws for Canberra.
Second personal foul on number 8 for Venom, Ashley Allen.
It'll be a luxury now to bring Tage Morrell off the bench for the Caps. She really held down the fort well throughout the first couple of months.
Yeah, she certainly did. She was so efficient for them, and she was shooting the ball at 47% and doing her job at both ends of the floor. So, like you said, a luxury that they were able to get so many minutes into her, and she was playing so well, so that, you know, they have full faith in her now to step in and give Satina a break when she needs one.
83% from the line. The Capitals this afternoon. A tick under a minute remains in this first half. Tuno hesitates. Finding Harlan from the mid-range. And her season debut, Ashley Harlan last outing. Poch off the dribble, right into the defender, and an offensive foul.
And that is great defense by Arlen. She's come into the game. She's had a very confident and aggressive mindset, not afraid to shoot it. And then she saw Brett get beat, stood her ground. Was she just outside the charge circle? I'm unsure, but it was great split line help D.
Sharp, stopped in her tracks. Geelong with a moment where they're trailing on the score sheet. Shelley's drawn the foul and will head to the line. For all of about 2 minutes so far in this contest. And a timeout with 16.4 remaining on the game clock. Shelley with 3 throws after the break in play. It's been the Capitals' defense, I think, the story of the second quarter.
Oh, absolutely. They've come with the right intent tonight, and we've seen them sort of change up their defense at times. They've been up the floor, they've had traps in the half court and doing different things, really using their length, which, you know, we've been calling for all season. So it's great to see it. And they've rewarded themselves with stops and then being able to get some easy buckets down the other end. So, you know, it would be fun for them to play like that.
It's been much better from Geelong on this one after an uncharacteristic game against the Spirit. Here was Chris Lucas's thoughts.
Oh, look, we dumped that game pretty quickly. It wasn't us at all. We've been in every game that we've lost, and I think you can't hang on to that. You just got to move on to the next challenge. And Canberra are big and they're talented, and we're looking forward to it.
It is one of the what-ifs for the Venom so far this season, losing in OT twice. They've really pushed some of the better sides as well in games throughout the year.
They really have, and like Chris Lucas said, it just wasn't them. When you go back and you watch that game, that was the first time that they ever really looked defeated. Rach and I were talking about it, and they've given every team a challenge. They're a hard-working team because they have a never-say-die attitude, and you know you have to provide a 40-minute game. So I like that mindset of, hey, we got to move on. We got to come back in 2 days. We have a very important game against the Caps, and you have to be super impressed with, yes, the Capitals, but also Geelong. They've come out with so much more energy and intent in Sunday Hoops today.
They do loom as a threat, the Venom. They've had some interruptions due to injury. Their best is more than good enough. Blitzarv stepping back inside. Brett muscles down the rebound and draws the foul. It's going to be 3 throws down the other end in the bonus.
Yeah, it's a tough finish there because, you know, Sarah did you know, she had that tough drive and she probably was unfortunate not to get a foul call, but it was an early shot. There was still, you know, I think 6-7 seconds left, and they give Geelong the opportunity to go down the other end of the floor.
Just the first personal for Sarah Blitzarves. Melissa Brett good on the first. Her first points this afternoon, 2 of 2. Plenty of time to draw something up for the Caps. Melbourne, strong screen from Makuso, pulls up right on the free-throw line. And that'll do it for the end of the first half. 3-point ball game, the Venom 35 lead the Capitals 32. It was a tight tussle in the second quarter, can't split them 16 apiece in the period. The new pre-game, this was going to be tight. It is shaped up that way. Kelsey Brown has Shyla Heel on floor. Kelsey.
I do, Shyla, great first half. How have you seen that one for your team?
Honestly, it's a bit messy right now. We have a lot of things we need to tidy up, but I mean, we're up 3, so we'll take it, but we need to be better in the second half.
On the other side of things, Sarah Blitzarves really got going. How do you nullify her influence in the second half?
Yeah, we need Sharpie to lock down. We believe in her, so I think just sticking to Scout's going to be key, and yeah, she's good.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Shyla Heel leading the way with 10 points for the Venom. Half-time break just after this, and she has been active from all areas of the floor. Shyla, it's a 3-point ball game at the half.
for three. Got it.
I'm just so much more experienced now. You know, I've been versing WNBA players night in and night out in Europe, and I really showed that I can compete against them. So, you know, I'm really excited to come back and show Australia what I can do. I was really just warming up 2 years ago, and now I'm ready to take my game to the next level. You know, I have an injury, so it's going to start off a bit slow, and I'm going to need a little bit of time, but by the back end of the season, I should be ready to go. Really special to me. My dad had nothing but good things to say about Geelong, and you know, I've seen it already in the first 2 weeks I've lived there. The people are great, the organisation is great, and yeah, I'm rocking 23 this year, just like Dad did 30 years ago.
Charlotte Hill to the block, and Charlotte answers back with a triple.
I've always loved fashion. I've started a clothing brand, it's about 4 years ago now, during COVID. And you know, it's just something to take my mind off basketball. I do it with my sister, and yeah, I just love it so much, you know, getting dressed up on the weekends, going out, taking photos. So it's just a little side hustle that I like, and you know, it's really important to have stuff outside of basketball that keep you going and keep you motivated when you're down as well. So it's pretty cool.
WNBL to begin round 10 as Heel heaves up one high off the glass.
10 points at the half for Shyla Hill to lead the way for the Venom as they lead by 3. Leah Ellison, Rachel Jarry and Beck Cole to run it all with you, and by her own admission as well, it's been a little bit messy at times.
Yeah, she's certainly said that and has been. We've seen that probably with the, you know, the 3-point percentage of both teams as we look there, 10% for the Venom and 17 for the Caps. And it was a little bit improved for the Caps in that second quarter with their field goals, but still, you know, a lot of room for improvement. But we'll probably put that down to a little bit of defence, I think, as well.
And the Capitals are able to get out and run as well, as they did force some turnovers right on the timeline, Beck.
They sure did. Rach said earlier they're one of the best teams with looking after the ball, and right now they're at 9 turnovers. So a big credit to the Caps and the defensive presence that they've really, I guess, emulated today. But a big one for me is that woman, Zatina Akuzo, has held Mackenzie Holmes to 6 points. That is huge effort. Mackenzie Holmes hasn't been kept under 20 points yet this season. So will we see her come out firing this second half? I think so, but it will be hard work.
Absolutely. She's been such a presence and just sort of struggled to get 2 feet in the keyway with a catch, Mackenzie Holmes, as a result.
Yeah, so now I'd like to see Geelong really be intentional about getting Mackenzie Holmes the ball in different spots and trying to get her shots, because like Beck said, we know how great she is, and they're going to need her to get involved in the game if they want to get this win.
Jazz Shelley as well, that first quarter defensively, 3 blocks and a steal in 10 minutes of play.
She has been incredible. She's a smaller guard on the court, and she's been acting like she's almost Han Shu 6'11" out there. 3 blocks is absolutely insane, and I want an invitation to her block party, thank you.
Here's one of those. Jade Melbourne's got that scent out of there that time, stripping clean. And Jazz Shelley has got 10 points herself. Offensively, she has been fantastic for the Venom in a game that has been a little scrappy at times. Sarah Blitzarves as well has created some offense back in her hometown of Geelong, Beck.
She sure has. She's feeling confident, positive back here. She got going early with those 3 balls, so I'd like to see more actions for her. And again, look inside with those mismatches, because she's just going to be able to shoot over those smaller guards.
Now Blackmore's head-to-head, Heel and Blitzarves with 10 apiece, 2 or 3 from distance as well. Sarah Blitzarves, she has been involved in multiple ways, and the story pre-game as well was Jade Melbourne and Nadia Poch coming off the pine. We've seen Melbourne has been right at home. She's got 9 points, brought a lot of energy, but that is a story, a different look for the Caps. How do you think it's gone so far, Rachel?
Yeah, it was a different look. I mean, you know, they didn't start off that great, so I don't know if we'd say that it totally worked for them, but Jade Melbourne has come in and, you know, been magnificent with pushing the ball and bringing that energy and things like that. So I think they'll be happy with where they're at. We obviously don't 100% know why she didn't start or why Poch didn't start, but I think they'll be happy with where they're at now, but still room for improvement in the second half.
Illness was the word throughout the week for the UC Capitals. Unsure how that's affected the squad. Jada Clark has come in, though, into the 5 and performed really well as well. What adjustments do you think, Beck, we're going to see out of this halftime break from both sides?
It's going to be interesting. It has been scrappy, but both teams, a credit to their defence, and they need to both come out and do this again for 20 minutes. But a big thing, I think, for Canberra, it will be rebounding. Don't let Geelong get offensive rebounds, and we need to keep punishing them inside. And for Geelong, I think, calm down, bit of poise. How can we get Mackenzie home some more buckets? But Shyla Hill, keep being aggressive.
No doubt they will look to get her involved in the second half, which is not far away here. Don't go anywhere. It's a 3-point ball game favouring the Venom at the main break.
Anything you want. Everybody say. Everybody say.
Third quarter moments away here between the Geelong Venom and the UC Capitals. 35-32 home side with a one-possession lead. Liam Ellison, Rachel Jarry and Beck Cole with you in commentary. Kelsey Brown is courtside and has a couple of special guests from the Geelong Cats in the AFL. Lawson Humphries and Shannon Neal. Kelsey.
I do, standing by with Lawson and Shannon. Lawson, I'll start with you. Back at pre-season training now. How's the first week been?
Yeah, pretty solid. I guess it always is this time of the year. But no, loving it. Good to be back and good to see everybody, I guess. Yeah, always love having a good break and being with family back home, but I'm excited to be back as well.
It's great to see you both here supporting the Geelong Venom. Shannon, you've lived in Geelong for the last 5 years, so you kind of call Geelong home. How great is it to watch this local team and the girls go about it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's great. I've watched them as the NBL1 team for a few years, and it's good to see them transition into the WNBL, and they're putting on a good show at the moment. I feel like we should be a bit further in front, but no, it's good to see them doing well.
So you're a massive fan of Geelong, Ben, and I absolutely love that. Lawson, anything that you've taken out of the first half, anything that you think the girls need to do?
I'm not much of an expert in basketball, so I don't want to say too much, but no, I think we'll break them open as the game goes on. We're trying to play pretty fast, so I reckon as the game goes on, we'll wear them down.
We absolutely love having you guys here. Thanks for supporting Geelong, Venom and the WNBL. Back to you, Liam.
Thanks, Kelsey. Great to see some names in the house at the Strike House, and as Shannon Neal mentioned, there are 3 players returning from that off-season squad. Lily Returno, Jazz Shelley and Taylor Moll, all a part of that undefeated home and away season for Geelong United. That's always good, having that continuity.
Oh, absolutely. It makes such a difference just being able to, you know, have some players also, you know, the facility, the arena and that kind of thing that you know and you're so familiar with. So it's a huge bonus for them having both teams and being able to get that continuity.
Let's see if they can get that offensive flow humming in this third quarter. Mackenzie Holmes will inbounds. Has been held well, as we mentioned at the halftime break. Beck, Tina Rakuso has done her job. 2 of 5 from the field for Holmes. No doubt they'll be looking to target her more.
Of course, 5 shot attempts is just not enough for Mackenzie Holmes or the Geelong Venom. So even if she's not shooting the ball, she can make some really great decisions. So I'm sure there'll be a few plays drawn up for her to get her going.
Clark with the assignment on heel. Shirley, her backcourt mate. And get some meaningful movement, the Venom. Poked out from Akuso. 4 seconds. Shyla's got to go. Caught the hand, and it's going to be 3 throws.
Classic Shyla Hill move, step back 3. I knew that was going up. She just creates so much space, as we see here. And smart shot, she had to take it, and unfortunately, Jada Clark just got her on the hand at the end of that shot.
Off on the first. Back heel on the second. Uncharacteristic for Charlotte.
Yeah, that broke the streak, I think, didn't it?
I think so.
She was up to, I think, nearly 21 or 22 in a row, so we don't see that often from her.
Holmes, the great defense that time. 10 to work with. Sissoko immediately attacks Clinch Hoycart. Numbers if they go quick, the Venom. Kuso again, just cutting off that entry. And able to flick it away to Brain Catazano. That was smart. Tied up, it'll go to the possession arrow via the jump ball.
And we also see Jade Melbourne starting in this second half. So it will be interesting to see whether she plays more minutes in this second half as well, because she has been a valuable piece today for the Canberra Capitals.
Sure has, on cue, stripped clean from heel. Out of bounds, played the 11 minutes in the opening half, Jade Melbourne. Starting on the bench. Off, blitz ups, opportunity here for Canberra. Lost it immediately. Melbourne try to rip it clean. Sharp in her 100th game, the co-captain. Shelley inside and caught contact on Akuso. That's just her first personal.
It's a scrappy couple of minutes there. I think the way the game's being played, I think the scrappiness probably favours the Caps to sort of slow the game down and make it a bit more of a grind. I think the Venom would like to be able to get a little bit more of ball movement and that kind of thing.
Win the ultimate weekend of basketball in Perth with the WNBL and Minor Hotel. Scan the QR code on screen now for your chance to win Platinum Hoops Fest tickets, return flights for 2 nights at the Oaks Perth Hotel, and $500 to spend at Oak and Vine. Don't miss your shot. Scan to enter now. 15th to 18th of January in WA at RAC Arena. Free throws, cushion it out to 5 for the Venom. Strike first in this second half. Kuso attacking the other way on Holmes.
I really like that rip drive by Zatina, being aggressive, nice strong body, and Jade Melbourne with the steal. She's so quick down the other end for 2.
Real clean for Jade. She's into double figures. Holmes trying to find Shelley. Space to work with Sissoko, rather strong rebounds. But Shelley able to poke it clean. Has Holmes there. And there's an easy 2 for Mackenzie. That's got to feel good. She's had so much attention throughout.
Yeah, just to be able to get that easy bucket certainly eases the pressure, but you know, she's still a young player, and these type of moments where, you know, you have been held a little bit, you've been the superstar of this team, and you've now got to find a way to get involved in the game offensively.
And the Amy replay, Shelley again. His second steal to go with 3 blocks in the game. Setting up Mackenzie Holmes, who's picked up her second personal moments ago. Brain Catazano running point. Picks up her dribble. Kuso wants to go to work once more, drops the foot. Just strong on the jump hook. Heel. Looking to go to work off the dribble. Holmes with the 3. Both sides struggling from distance in this one. Capitals have converted on 2. Venom just 1. Strong offensive rebound from Akuso. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, there's a couple in a row that have gone begging for the Caps, and I think Zatina would like that one again. She could just, you know, she's such a big, strong body. She can just take a little bit more time to get those finishes, but it does take a little bit when you've been out for a while. That's probably like the last thing to come back, is that touch around the rim.
Offensive foul against Heel. Jada Clark has 4 personals, Sissoko with 3. And the Caps, the only 2 players on the floor in foul trouble. Sarves walks into a treble. That'll be a worry for Chris Lucas. Another offensive rebounds. Can't get the result.
They're up to 12 offensive rebounds now, the Caps, but unfortunately right now they're just not finishing off and rewarding themselves for getting those second chance opportunities.
Troy Card put against the handoff. Good defense from Canberra.
That's the 15th turnover for the Venom, so that's 6 already in this quarter, and we've only played just over 4 minutes.
Huge tally in just 4 minutes of play. Been able to make them pay though down the other ends. Crusoe draws 2 defenders. Melbourne, great look from 3. Rims out once more. Just won't fall at the moment for the Caps.
We need Kelsey to go check if there's any glad wrap covering those rims, because we need them to start making these threes.
And it has been a bit of a scrappy start to this second half. Both teams not being able to make shots, but both teams forcing each other into turnovers.
Melbourne turns the corner. What a great look. Capitals unable to strike. Troy Card fronts the offense. Heel again, puts the defender on skates. We can break the deadlock here, halfway through the third quarter. Sarves hit on 2 threes in the first half, and she adds to her tally.
Thank you, Sarah.
The glad wrap is off now, Rachel.
13 in the game for Sarah Blitzarves, and it's tied up here. 4:51 remaining in the third. Three of 5 from distance so far this afternoon for Sarah Blitzarves. Has provided all of the Capitals' makes from 3 in this one then. 18% from beyond the arc. The Venom only got 1 of 12 themselves. Have been effective at getting inside the painted area, the home side.
And until Sarah's made 3 just then, both teams were sitting at only scoring 4 points so far in this third quarter. So it's been a tough one for both teams, but we said this was going to go down to the wire, and we're proving exactly why. Both teams coming out with great defensive energy and assertiveness. I think at the end of the day, it will be who has a better shooting percentage that will get the team over the line.
34% for the Venom, 27 for the Caps. 39 apiece out of the first time out of the first half. Capitals able to tie it up off the back of that Sarah Blitzarves 3-ball for her 3rd triple of the contest. Leah Ellison, Rachel Jarry and Beck Cole with you in commentary. And Tuno will run point to kick us off. Sharpens Sissoko. Now it's the two bigs, the key matchup we spoke of pre-game. Nearly lost it. Stays with the Venom. Kelsey, what did you catch from the Geelong huddle?
Yeah, well, Chris Lucas was all about the offensive end. He said, we're not using the ball. It's a one-pass, one-shot offense, so he would have been happier with that last trip down the floor. But he said, we need to get the ball moving and get some intensity about that as Akuso drains that too. But it was all about the offensive end for Chris Lucas. He was happy defensively, but that offensive end, he needs the ball moving.
Thanks, Kelsey. That was a pretty two-man game from Melbourne and Akuso.
Yeah, that was lovely, and we see that finish from Zatina. That'll give her great confidence when she's going up for her future shots. But, you know, I think the Caps have been getting really good looks and looks that we would expect them to take and make. So, you know, you can't be too critical. Obviously, we need them to hit some of these shots so that they can, you know, continue to put scoreboard pressure on. But they are getting the right looks. And like Kelsey said, Chris Lucas is not happy with the shots that Geelong are getting. But all credit to Canberra's defence at the moment.
Holmes resetting with Shelley. Melbourne stays with the play. Down low with 4 seconds. Holmes double. Blitzarves came across. Jump ball. It has been a team effort tonight, keeping the ball out of Mackenzie Holmes' hands.
And the scout on Holmes from the Caps has been so good. You see Zatina doing her work early. As soon as she dribbles, Sarah Blitzarves is that guard who comes down, gets her hands in. And this is the most I've seen Holmes struggle so far this season. And she's been forced into some turnovers, which is very unlike her.
Jazz Shelley, you bet. Right on the shot clock horn.
Get out of here, Jazz Shelley. Get out of here.
Not the first time we've seen that this season.
No, certainly not. And that is one that will get the crowd up and going, get them into this game.
Certainly will. Ties it back up once again. Akuso, what a game she's played for the Capitals. Blitzarves around the pick, flipped out. Sissoko inside the arc. 5 on the afternoon so far to go with 7 boards. Katie Sissoko. Turno. Might get by Brain Catazano. It's that defensive tenacity she brings for the Caps. Shelley, the one-legged fall away. Good third quarter once again so far from the Caps, but Shelley has been a menace defensively this afternoon. Able to get it done in transition. Down the floor. And Catazano opts out of the corner 3. Great recognition from both the guards for the Caps. And Sissoko converts.
What ball movement from the Caps just then. The ball moves so quick, got the right open shot, but Jazz Shelley, the amount of steal she's got across that half-court area has been so impressive tonight.
She's she's got to be close to Defensive Player of the Year at this point, do you think, Beck?
She definitely has to be up there. Even when she was defending Izzy Borlase the other night, Borlase, she's just playing some incredible basketball.
She's unstoppable, yeah.
But she was even playing such good defense on her. It was just good defense, better offense. But the amount of steals, deflections she's gotten, she's been so impressive. So she definitely has to be up there and in the talks right now, Rach.
3 steals, 3 blocks and counting for Jazz Shelley. This 4-point buffer is the biggest lead of the game for the Capitals. Venom led by 8 at one stage earlier in the contest. As we clear up the floor with the Geelong juniors. It's 14 to work with for the Venom. Charlene back out there for Geelong. And she is off the inbounds. Late shot clock situation for Jazz Shelley, who is feeling it at the moment, and she'll get the roll. Of course she will.
The glad wrap was on, and now the ball hit the backboard, the sides, and it went in. But Jazz Shelley, she is feeling it right now and really leading the way for the Venom.
Inside Akuso. Down Melbourne, tied under the basket. Sissoko with her feet set. $18 for Shelley, 3 triples.
Knew that was going up and going in!
She was wide open really that whole time down the floor. They had a bit of a mismatch with a big. Zatina was the closest player to Shelley, and they couldn't get a guard out there to contest that 3. That was going down every day of the week.
Putting together a nice run now. The Venom back in the lead, 48-46. Litzarm step back outside, and Zatina Rakuso, that is going to be an offensive foul. It's an 8-0 run for the Venom. Everything going down for Shelley. 3 threes in a matter of minutes.
There just wasn't enough urgency you see on that last play. I think there was a bit of miscommunication, but we know when Jazz Shelley gets going, her shots are going down, so you need to get a hand up and you need to close her out.
Let's head down to Kelsey on the floor. Kelsey.
Well, I spoke about that 3-point percentage. It's really upped itself from Jazz Shelley's effort as Clinch Hoycart goes for another one. But Jazz Shelley has been good from the 3-point line. So good that Chris Lucas grabbed his whiteboard, turned straight to the bench and said, let's draw up some plays for Jazz. So they want to go to her a little bit more in this.
And why wouldn't you keep going to the well?
I love that. That's why Chris Lucas is such an experienced coach in this league. And like you said, absolutely go to the well, go to who's hot, what's working for you.
Nice vision from Potch to find Munga open for 3. The offense has opened up here in the third. After a scrappy first half, Latuno now open and making no mistake.
Hasn't this third quarter
changed from that, the first couple of minutes, that's for sure.
Just the one make from 3 in the first half. For the Venom, they've now got 6 inside with Melbourne. Finishing it in style, 2-point ball game. At 3 at quarter time, the Venom remain in the lead, 53-51. It's going to be a fun final 10 minutes coming up.
Check out some of the great clothing they have in store. You're sure to love a lot of the stuff that they have. And we thank the rest of our players each and every week as they make their way in here to the Geelong Arena for the Strike House, as we like to call it. Another chance to win that voucher is coming your way. for our next home game here next Saturday night. The last one for 2025.
It's a 2-point ball game with the Venom holding that.
One possession ball game in this must-win matchup for both sides. The Venom and the Capitals. Geelong a 2-point lead at three-quarter time. Liam Ellison, Rachel Jarry and Beck Cole to bring it to you. We look like we're in for a tight finish here, Rachel.
Oh, certainly. You know, we saw that third quarter was sort of two different games in one, a bit scrappy to start off with, and then we got some free-flowing basketball and some great shooting. So we start off with a turnover there from the Caps, but you know, it's going to come down to those little moments, you know, who can look after the ball better, who can have that foul discipline going down to the stretch and make their free throws and little things like that.
Threes just started to fall there after the slowest start in the first half, Beck.
It was so interesting just to see the way that a game can change, and that is why we love basketball. But even though the shooting percentage from three-point land for the Geelong Venom hasn't been great, they have big game-time three-point shooters in the likes of Shelley, Clint Hoykart, Rotuno has proved to be so far this season, and we know they can get going. So it's been great to see this quarter really change the game for the Venom.
We're going to drop at some stage. Now we're in for a fun final last quarter. Rotuno off the inbounds. Only got a fingertip to it at Kuso. Shelley with a lot of confidence. Unable to fall that time. They'll get the reset. To Shelley once more. It's by space to work with on Potch. Clinch Hoykard first hands to it. Venom again a second chance. Finish 14. Melbourne up on the grill of Rotuno. Rotuno short that time from three. After 3 attempts, the Caps see it off. Chance for them to strike first in this fourth quarter. Nadia Potch for 3, book it. Much needed for her in the Capitals.
Yeah, she needed that one. She's taken a few threes this game, but they've all been good shots. She's been open, and then she finally gets one to go down. That'll give her the world of confidence.
Brett with the elbow, not that time. Picks up the foul on Munga. Early whistle against the Venom.
And the thing with Potchbeck, we were talking earlier before the game, is that, you know, we know she has been working on her outside shot, and it's something that she's going to need to keep improving on, because we know she's such a great driver to the basket, but to be able to, you know, take her game to the next level, she's going to need some more, you know, versatility and more ways to score in her game.
And then it makes her harder to defend. If you can consistently knock down that shot, then they close out, then she has easier lanes to the basket. And like you said, developing her game. She's looking to go to the Atlanta Dream soon for WNBA, and that's something that she will definitely need to make it over there in that league.
Charlotte Hill picks up foul number 4 in the previous possession. Chris Lucas will leave her out there and trusting her guard. Here is Hill. Screen from Holmes, great finds. Brett set for 3, and it drops.
Great pass from Hill and another dunny roll for today. We've had it all in this game.
It's been that sort of afternoon. Potch, immediate attack inside, slicing through. A chance to imprint her mark on this game in the fourth quarter, Nadia Potch. Coming off the bench today alongside Jade Melbourne, if you just joined us. And have brought the energy nonetheless. Melbourne doing so right here on Heel. Fighting by, flipped up on the left hands.
Great defense by Jade Melbourne. She went over that screen, hustled and made sure it was hard for Shyla Hill to get that shot up, but a physical play there with Munga and Shelley.
The Amy replay, Shyla Hill picking out the shooter in Alyssa Brett, who is dangerous from distance.
And Brett is another one of those shooters, Liam, that is so good at three-point shooting. And we saw it the other night against Perth and Southside. Perth finally had a game where every player was knocking down those threes. And all it takes is one game for that momentum to change.
Melbourne calling to the screen from Akuso. Right on the logo, Akuso pulls it down, did well to dispose of it. And Sharp able to cut it off. 3 minutes gone in the fourth, still tied here. Holmes, the mismatch they've been craving. Melbourne did well. Holmes a second chance. And she'll get three throws out of it, but not the worst result for a mismatch.
No, it was great recognition from both Shyla and Mackenzie Holmes there, just to have the patience to get it into her with that mismatch. But, you know, Jade fought hard. She'll have to go and earn it from the line now. I like to see that from my guards. Just make sure those bigs earn it.
Jade Melbourne now has picked up her fourth as well.
Maybe she should have then made her earn it.
Heel and Melbourne in some foul trouble. Holmes converts from the line. Clark will replace Melbourne. Make sure you download the free WNBL app to catch every score, story, stat, and highlight this season. It's the fastest way to stay courtside. Scan the QR code on screen now. Download to your device.
And Liam, speaking of highlights, we cannot go past giving our teammate Rachel Jarry a happy birthday shout out for her birthday yesterday.
Absolutely.
No, when you get sold, it's just another day. All good.
You're not that old, mate.
I feel it. My knees feel it.
Sharp. A milestone game of her own with 100. Shelley down the boulevard.
The seas just parted for Shelley on that occasion.
The game she's putting together. Russo. Inside. Blitzarves. Not quite. Stays with the play though. Sharp able to corrupt. Warning her that time of Brain Catazano entering the vicinity. Heel can set something up. Has Akuso in front of her. And it means Mackenzie Holmes is down low with a mismatch. They take advantage this time. Brings up a double-double.
Just what a great pass from Shyla Hill there. Pick and roll game will really evolve as they get to play more games together. And again, that was probably almost the easiest shot Mackenzie Holmes has had all night.
Absolutely, yeah. Great recognition from that mismatch again. And, you know, there was a few plays on the floor there that had a mismatch. Alex Sharp had his Gran Catasano on her and could have tried to demand the ball, but she saw that Mackenzie Holmes had the better mismatch, got out of the way, and that's great unselfish team basketball.
Both backcourts have delivered so far in this contest. Here was Paul Goris earlier speaking about that matchup battle.
Yeah, hopefully in our favour. You know, I think great guard play in across the league this season. I think the league, there's great parity, you know, other than probably Townsville, Bendigo and Perth that have set themselves apart from everybody else. Is great matchups today all across the court, I think.
Shelley leads the way with 23, Shyla Hill 10. Jane Melvin with 13 as well, point guard for the Caps. 6-point lead for the Venom. It's hovered around that 1 to 2 possession mark. Really throughout the entirety of this contest, it's been tight the whole way. Kelsey Brown was listening in to the Geelong Venom huddle. Kelsey.
Oh, I was listening into the Capitals, but it was all about Sarah Blitzarves and getting her the ball. We spoke to Charla Hill at the half, and she said that Alex Sharp needed to do a good job of shutting her down. She's had just 3 points as Munga goes for that 3 and gets it to drop. She's had just 3 points in this second half, but we know that Sarah Blitzarves can turn this one around, so look to go to her a little bit more on the offensive end for the Caps.
Thanks, Kelsey. Hill gets the switch off the screen. Stepping back with a midi, Charla Hill involved in the 4th.
Step back 3. I know that was always on the scout, Rachel, when we were playing against Charla Hill. It's such a hard move to defend.
Kuso will rip and drive, strong on the left. Double now this afternoon for Satina. She has shown that she is going to be such a crucial addition to this team returning from injury. Huge on both ends of the floor. Shelley. Not quite off the glass. Approaching crunch time here at the Strikehouse. Kuso directing traffic. Shelley came to pick her pocket, caught her unawares.
Great read from Shelley there. Just another great defensive play from her. She's just had an amazing two-way game today.
Hill looking to attack Munga. That was tough. Took contact, off balance.
I think unlucky not to be at the free throw line shooting an extra one there, but what a great finish.
Michael opt out. Inside, had the double. Shelley came across, foul call. Number 4 of the quarter against the Venom.
Such a tough finish by Charla Hill there. She definitely got a bit of body contact, but fading away at the rim. And I'm interested to see who that foul was on. Was it on Brett? Because I think Judge Shelley almost got that steal clean.
Confirm in a moment. Charla Hill certainly is so adept at finishing in traffic. Satina with 2.
And you said earlier, Liam, that Zatina's just going to be such a big part, and I think she has to give herself some grace. Yes, she's missed a few bunnies around the basket, but you can see just within this game, her confidence building, her feeling more comfortable on the court, and once again, she's got more minutes with her other Caps teammates, and again, just keeps working on the game fitness that comes back. She'll be such a key piece, and Alex Sharp with a crucial 3-pointer at this stage of the game.
Sure is. Puts them out by 6, timeout, 3:23 remaining. Venom 69, Capitals 63. And just off the back of your point, Beck, there's been no sign of a minutes restriction tonight for Satina, which is great to see. 32 minutes and counting for her. And Sharpie in her 100th game, a big shot for her side. They're in the box seat. There's still a ton of time remaining.
There certainly is. And, you know, the Caps will now, they want to, shorten the game a little bit, be able to get some good shots here. And, you know, we're just talking about Satina, but like you said, Beck, her confidence, you can just see it growing throughout this game. And I love that she's now, you know, demanding that ball in the post. There's nothing more reassuring when you're a guard trying to throw it into your post when they're demanding the ball, asking for you to get it to them. And you can just see that they're wide open. So I love that from her as well.
Here's Chris Lucas on Alex Sharp.
Yeah, she's still growing as a leader, but she does a great job at 28, and it's a great achievement, 100 games in the WNBL. I'm really pleased for her, and I hope we put in a good performance for her today.
They're in a good spot at the moment to come away with a victory and see themselves in the 4 if they do so, pending the Southside Melbourne result tonight, who are currently sitting in 4th with a 3-5 record. It's so tight from 8th all the way to fourth. Just one win separates those 5 sides. Melbourne. Crunch time minutes, as you'd suspect, for the Capitals. Russo going to work on Holmes. Pump fake, textbook in the post.
And another just great move from the elbow. Took it at Holmes. You can tell she's feeling confident, Rach, and I think they should look to her in this last few minutes.
Litzarves able to poke it clean. Opted back from Brain Catazano. Transition points, Canberra.
Coffee club is a goes. I don't need to get that cappuccino for you no more, Sarah.
Second time they've combined in transition, those two.
Soy latte for Izza.
And Tuno looked to have caught a stray elbow. Play on, says the referee. Down the floor, shooters open. Brain Catazano offline. And Kelsey Brown was listening into the huddle in the last time out. Kels.
Paul Goris was really unhappy. He was quite animated in that timeout. He was upset with the level of communication. He said on the defensive end, we can't get anywhere with our switches if we're not communicating. And on the offensive end, we need a shout out to Zatina if Jazz Shelley's coming up behind her. So expect a little bit more comms from the Caps.
Mackenzie Holmes connects from 3. Right on the shot clock buzzer.
That is a big-time player. You know, we've talked about she's been a little bit quiet today for her usual standards. She comes out and hits a massive 3 at this stage of the game.
Standing up when it counts. Heel able to cut it off with a steal. 3-on-2 situation. Shiloh goes herself and back to the stripe where she is so effective. Holmes, who was held to 6 at halftime, now up to 15 and 13 in the ball game. 2 of 4 from the line today for Shiloh Heel. Came into this one having not yet missed from the stripe in WNBL26. Biggest lead in this game for either side has been 8 for the Venom earlier on, with 100 seconds remaining. They have a 3-possession lead. Litzarves working hard off ball. Here's Melbourne inside. Recognition, Sissoko. And again on the offensive glass, the Kuso will go back to the stripe. The Caps are 87% from this spot. Fourth offensive rebound for Zatina. 12 total. Returning to WNBL this season after spending time overseas. Previously with the Townsville Fire. Caps fans at home will be so impressed with what she's put together. With these crucial free throws, able to split a pair.
And the Caps definitely need to get up and in on defense, but being smart. Otherwise, their next foul will be their 5th team foul, sending Venom to the line. But they need to get stops right now because there's only just over a minute left on the clock.
Hill really got to it. Venom basketball. Worked out initially from Zatina. Fading away in the keyway. Again, it rims out. Melbourne with eyes down the floor. Great vision. Finds Sissoko, who lost her footing. 14 on the shot clock, though, for Jade Melbourne. Important second chance opportunity. Under a minute now. Gotta go. Melbourne. Bingo. Big shot for the Capitals. 3-point ball game.
Big shot, but it's been their offensive rebounds this quarter. The big Zatina and Katie Sissoko absolutely dominating the boards at both ends of the floor and getting their leader, Jade Melbourne, a second chance at that 3-point shot.
Defensive rebounding, 16. Noted. That was huge. themselves an extra chance. Game on now, 44 seconds on the clock. A timeout each remains for both coaches. And Venom a chance to control it here, Beck.
They really need to be smart with the ball now. They need to take care of it. I would use the clock and execute the play, but obviously if there's an opening, go take it. You can't be, I guess, too worried about the lead. You also need to play basketball, but time is on their side right now, so I am intrigued to see who they look to go to in their next offensive play.
Both sides will be in a bonus on the next foul call. Both above 80% from the stripe this afternoon. Melbourne and the Caps up in full court D. And safely with Rotuno. Chance to wind some time down. Will do just that. Akuso comes out for the switch. Single numbers now. Rotuno gliding by, and the stop for the Capitals.
Venom, don't let them shoot a three-point shot. Close out, get a hand.
Shot clock just ahead, and Akuso down the keyway. 1 point ball game. They're happy to concede it. 3 throws to come.
Yeah, I don't mind that. You know, the Caps just needed to get any sort of shot, their best shot that they could, and that was a great shot for them. There's still plenty of time left in this game. They got a reasonably quick foul off this inbounds, and then now they can shorten the game and hopefully potentially get a timeout after this to draw up something.
Off on the first, so Holmes ensuring not to foul. Smart option there, avoiding the 3-point opportunity. And the door well and truly ajar now. Here will make it a 2-point ball game. And Paul Goris will use his final timeout, 10.3 on the game clock.
And that's a big free throw from Shyla. She missed her last two, the last trip to the line. Missed her first one, but she shook it off. And that's a very confident foul shot right there.
Rachel, where does it go here for the Caps? Down 2, 10 to work with, plenty of time to get a look away.
It goes straight into Zatina Akuso. I think she's absolutely dominated this last quarter and a bit, and you know, the Geelong Venom are having a hard time stopping her in there, and she's doing it off the roll, off the pick and roll, and also she's able to back to the basket. So I think they'll probably try and get a pick and roll between Jade Melba and Tina Crusoe and play off that and see what they get out of that one. But Geelong just need to make sure they don't give up a 3, and they also don't want to foul. Much rather go to overtime than lose on the buzzer.
Chris Lucas retains his final timeout. Let's get down quickly to Kelsey Brown, courtside.
Well, you're absolutely right, Rachel. Jared is going to Zatina. The play that they drew up is for her to catch on the elbow, potentially look for Sarah Blitzarves, but expect Zatina or Sarah Blitzarves to have a look at this bucket.
Okay, thank you. Here we go. Let's see if they can draw it up. Blitzarves has 3 threes to her name in the first half. 10 seconds. Into Akuso. Looking to back down Holmes. Still advancing, kicked out. Great look. Nicole Munger bullseye. You bet. Munger drains it and takes the lead with 2 seconds remaining.
Nicole Munger.
And this is what she can do. She's such a solid player, plays her role to an absolute T. Again, another one who hasn't shot the 3 ball too great this season, but right here, when it counts, she gets it to drop.
Great composure from Akuso to find Munger. Her feet set, a great look. Sharp shooter for the Capitals. And now it's 2.1 for Geelong after this timeout.
Wow, that was very unselfish by Zatina then. She definitely could have gone up herself, but found Munger, and now they're in the box seat. But who are you going to, Beck, for Geelong? It's going to be a quick shot.
I'm going to judge Shelley for a quick shot, but also make sure you have a backup plan to then see Shyla, because she's also a great three-point shooter.
Venom been in so many games this season. Fallen in the tight ones, lost 2 in OT.
I totally take back my comment. It's only a 1-point game. I want the ball to get to Judge Shelley or Shyla Hill, but they don't need a three-point shot. They need one at the rim, or do you set a back screen, look for Holmes on a back cut, but 2.1, it has to be quick range.
Will it be history repeating? Or can the Venom find something here?
I'm nervous, Liam.
Here we go. Potch defending the inbounds. In with Holmes. Deflected. Time remaining. And the Capitals bench are up and celebrating.
And that's got to hurt right now for Venom Rach.
There's nothing worse in a situation where you don't get a shot off. At least get something on the rim so that you had a chance.
Here's a better look at it. And last touched off Shelley.
Yeah.
And I don't think Chris will be happy. You can tell that is not what they had drawn up and gone to plan, but can they get a stop?
And get it in safely. Peeled away, it won't matter. The Capitals in the final moments get it done via a Nicole Munger 3-ball to take an important victory, and they keep their season alive.
They certainly do it, and you know, that's a huge just mental win for them. They just needed to win a good, tough game like that, and they'll take so much confidence out of that one. But God, I feel for Geelong Venom. They've really copped it the past few weeks. They've been in every single game and had some absolutely heartbreaking losses.
They sure have. It sets up a homestand coming up for the Capitals where they can kickstart their season. Tuesday at AIS Arena against the Lightning, and then Friday night as well, back in Canberra against Southside Melbourne. They are right at the running, no doubt, for finals.
Yeah, they are, and they've just got such a talented team where they can get on a roll, and you know, just the way Zatina Akuso played today, it's, you know, that's so hard to guard for any big in this league, and if they can get her playing like that 40 minutes a game, they're going to be very hard to stop, and the rest of their team is going to thrive off of her play.
And Adelaide is another team where, again, on any given day, that's up for grabs, but definitely a team that Canberra can beat, and if they could get 2 in a row, that builds momentum. And then you go into that harder game against the Flyers, where they got the first win against them in the first game of the season. This will really be an interesting patch for the Capitals, and I cannot wait to see what happens.
They are finally full strength, the Capitals, and Zatina Akuso. She was huge tonight, Kelsey.
She was absolutely unbelievable. 18 points, 14 rebounds. Zatina, I need to ask you about Nicole Munger's last shot, though. That was not what was drawn up, but you had the prowess to sort of kick it out to her. How does that one feel?
Oh, amazing. You know, in Munger we trust always. She's always ready to go, and we believed in her. That was the shot we wanted.
We absolutely love what she provides to this team, but let's talk about your performance. You've come back in, you've been out with a little bit of injury, but you've come in and you've been really dominant for the Caps. How special is that one to get that win?
Oh, it feels great to be back out there. It took me a little while to get into it, but I just did whatever my team needed me. Gauze needed me to rebound, and that's what I did, and just picked up a couple easy ones at the end.
We talked about you guys coming into this one. You'd won 1 out of the last 5 games. It has been a tough start to the season for the Capitals. How important and how much does that confidence give you in this win?
Yeah, I mean, we were definitely due for one. We haven't played as good as we've wanted to, but we really focused on our defense this week and our talk, and I think our effort proved that we can compete with these better teams, and really excited for the next 2 games. I think we're in for it.
Is there a confidence within the team that you can now sort of go on a run? That's the sort of game that you needed to produce to get the next sort of ones under your belt?
Yeah, I mean, we've got amazing pieces. It was just about finding the right places for them, and I think we're getting into it, and I think these next 2 games will be a huge advantage for us.
We absolutely love what you've been doing with the team. All the best for the Caps in the closeout of this one.
Thanks, appreciate it.
What a performance tonight from Zatina Akuso. The game-winning assist, and then defensively and well as well on Mackenzie Holmes. Walk us through, Beck, how she got it done tonight.
I think it really started with her defense. She took it to Mackenzie Holmes, made her life so hard, and then that just always, defense leads into your offensive game. And she said there, it took her a while to get going, and each quarter she just leveled up. But her inside presence, how do you stop Zatina Okuzo down low? I don't know, Rachel, that's a question I have for you.
Well, you might have to be Hanju and have the, 7-foot wingspan. That might be the only way. But no, she's one of our best bigs in this league, and we saw exactly why tonight.
Really changes the complexion for the Capitals. Here's a forward shot chart for Zatina inside the keyway. As always, she was terrific. 6 of 9 from the field, and they just look menacing without her out there on the floor.
Yeah, just so efficient, and I loved that she said, she definitely downplayed her game tonight. I just got a couple of easy ones at the end. Certainly not, but, she said she focused on her rebounding, and then everything else came a part of that. So, that's what you want. If shots aren't dropping for you, you got to focus on one thing, and that's what she did. And then she, really carried that team on her back in that last quarter.
It didn't go the way of the Venom tonight, but we'd be remiss not to mention the game of Jazz Shelley, who was terrific. Kelsey Brown.
Yes, an unbelievable outing for Jazz Shelley, but these are always the hardest interviews to do after a loss like that. Devastating 1-point loss, but it seems to be the pattern for Geelong Venom at the moment.
It is. We need to be able to look back and figure out why it's happening, but also look at ourselves and figure out what we're doing wrong. We need to get those wins. I think we kind of get complacent towards the end, and that's when we need to go to another level, and we haven't been.
What's your initial thought on what is the next level for Geelong Venom? We know that you've been finding your defensive identity. Sometimes that goes missing. What's the next step for you guys?
Yeah, I think discipline is a big thing, especially on the defensive end. There's little things that we're lacking, and it comes in waves, and I think that if we played 40 minutes of defense, we're really good on the defensive end if we put our minds to it and we stay disciplined.
I want to talk about your personal game, though. You were absolutely amazing on the defensive end. Blocks, steals, doing absolutely everything. How do you see the game play out in front of you, and what do you look for when you're looking for those little things?
Yeah, I think my coaches have done a really good job at using me in that way. I'm kind of like the roamer. So being able to play split line and read plays and having the luxury of being a little undisciplined on the defensive end to get some steals. So I'm grateful to be put in that position.
And lastly, Alex Sharp played her 100th game. It's a milestone that is a great achievement. Obviously, don't walk away with the win. Can you give us a little bit of an insight into Sharpie? You lead alongside her in this team. What's she like?
Yeah, Sharpie's so well experienced, and she's kind of been through a lot, so it's nice to have a perspective like her. And me being such a young captain, it's really cool to work alongside her, and she brings so much experience and so much wisdom. So congrats to 100.
So much for the Venom to learn out of this one. We can't wait to see you in the next outing. Congrats on a great game for you, though, Jazz.
Cool. Thanks, girls.
23 for Jazz Shelley this afternoon, and 4 steals and 3 blocks. She came out of the gates. All of those blocks in the first quarter, Rachel.
Yeah, absolutely. She came to play today and she really wanted this win. Unfortunately, couldn't quite get them across the line, but so impressive defensively. We just know what a powerhouse she is offensively, but just to see that development in her game, it's super impressive, and making her one of the better two-way players in our league.
Shelley, another great game, a 1-point victory in the end for the UC Capitals. Stick around, we'll wrap it all up just after this. The Capitals back on the winners list in round 8.
session is now underway. 20 minutes worth. We'll have that clock starting for you right now. Once the time is up, our players will be heading out the back to get themselves all cooled down after the game. Don't forget, we've got our mini basketballs for sale as well. $15 each as you make your way through the line there. So if you'd like to grab a mini basketball, they're available right here. Impulse payment is available. Just tap and go. Grab a basketball, why not?
Took right to the end of regulation for Nicole Munger to come up with this big moment, the three to win it for the UC Capitals, courtesy of a well-timed assist from Zatina Akuso. And they are back on the winners list for the first time since November 15th in round 5. The Capitals have life as we round into the second half of the WNBL season. With a homestand coming up, here's the Bunnings ladder. 3 and 6 and now only a game out of that top 4.
Yeah, it makes it really tight, and we see, you know, how important tonight's game with Southside and Bendigo will be, and Southside will be trying to separate them from that big field, but, you know, every team's still in it, every game is super important, and like we saw tonight, it can come down to one play and it can make or break your season.
You've got a feel for Geelong, 3 and 8. It doesn't really tell the story of their season, does it, Beck?
It really doesn't. They've challenged every single team that they've come up across. And we saw Judge Shelley at the end say, why are we losing in those moments? Sometimes you need a bit of luck, but also they're very inexperienced in that young veteran. So who do they look to in those big moments?
It's 6 losses by single numbers for the Venom, so they've got a bit of work to do. They'll be hoping for Alyssa Pilley to come back into the lineup soon to really give them some reinforcements going forward. For the Capitals, though, it's a homestand next week on Tuesday and Friday night. This is an opportunity to put themselves right back in the picture, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. And a win like that really can galvanise your season. It will make, you know, they'll be excited to get back out on the court together next week and you know, want to try and keep building those wins. So it could really kickstart the UC Cup season. We know, you know, what amazing pieces they've got in that team.
Coming up at 6:30 p.m. tonight at Southside Melbourne and the Bendigo Spirit, a Victorian rivalry at the State Basketball Centre. As Southside look to keep pace with that top 3, which are starting to pull away.
They really are. This is a game that has big ramifications if the Flyers win or lose. And they've come off a couple of tough losses, want to get back on the winning streak. And then the Bendigo Spirit, they've been so impressive as Mariana Tolo is out now due to pregnancy. So we're in for an exciting match.
We sure are. Olivia Pollard stepped up in her absence. Looking forward to see how she backs it up. Alex Sharp's 100th game this afternoon, but the Venom in the end fall by a point right at the final moments. The UC Capitals come away with an important victory. Liam Ellison, Rachel Jarry, Beck Cole and Kelsey Brown courtside. Thank you very much for joining us, and from all our hardworking team behind the scenes, we'll catch you at 6:30 for more action.